Dark Magician with Spellbook in it. So Spellbook and Knowledge gives us a really powerful draw engine to go with this deck that's going to allow us to get to our combo pieces much more efficiently and consistently. Dark Magician still has a lot of power behind its basic combo, right? Dark Magic Circle gives you your plus, you get your Dark Magician or your Navigation. Navigation is going to summon a Dark Magician to your board, banish a card on your opponent's side of the field. That same basic combo is still here, and it's still really powerful. It's more of a matter of consistency, right? Trying to be able to consistently get to your combo, all your pieces. Illusion Magician helps a little bit with that, but the deck needed a little bit more. The Spellbook engine here actually is going to give us a ton of that. So if we open up with either Prophecy or Spellbook of Secrets in hand, you can use it to search for the other one, use that to search for Spellbook of Knowledge, activate it, send your Prophecy to the graveyard, you're going to draw 2 cards, and you're actually filtering through your deck quite a bit at this point. So between your opening hand, searching for 2, and drawing 2, you're going to dig really deep into your deck, that way that your Dark Magical Circle is pretty much almost always going to find something. You're almost always going to be able to get your Navigation and Dark Magician to hand. I'd say the overwhelming majority of games that you're able to get your draws off, and that's going to be the majority of games, you're going to be able to get to your Navigation combo with Dark Magical Circle. And usually you're going to be able to get to a Spellbook of Fate or a way to get it in your hand, so that if you're going first, you'll be able to have your circle on the board, set a Navigation, set Spellbook of Fate, which you'll have 2 Spellbook cards in the graveyard, so this can act as a Book of Moon that you can search out from your deck. So you'll have a searchable Book of Moon, Navigation set in the board to be able to disrupt your opponent's play, along with potentially an Illusion Magician on the field too if you had that initially off the start. So this deck actually has a and again, you can very consistently get to that as well because of your draw engine. You're very, very often going to dig halfway through your deck on your first turn and be left literally with only half your deck left. And again, you're searching even deeper into it with a Dark Magical Circle beyond that. So you're going to be able to get through most of your deck on your first turn to be able to make sure that you get your combo pieces so that you always have them. Beyond that, it's just, like I said, the main Dark Magician strategy. Again, you have some of the basic support cards here. We have 1 Magician of Dark Illusion. We have the 2 Apprentice Illusion Magician. We do have 3 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy in here, 3 of the Dark Magician, 1 Spellbook of Knowledge, 3 Dark Magical Circle, 3 Spellbook of Secrets, 1 Spellbook of Fate, and the 3 Magician Navigation. For the extra deck, by far and away the most important card is the Ebon Illusion Magician. You're going to go into this quite a bit. Its ability to banish cards in your opponent's field is really powerful, plus it obviously replaces itself the second you're able to summon it. You can summon another Dark Magician to the field, which potentially sometimes can allow you to trigger your Dark Magical Circle. Again, if it's another turn, be able to banish something on your opponent's side of the field while putting threats out there. So Ebon Illusion Magician, really powerful card. Sometimes your rank 6s, that's really the only rank 7 I used the entire time I was playing with this deck. However, though, I actually did use Potomali and Photon Strike Bouncer at different points because of the Illusion Magicians, their ability to go into it. Really powerful cards that actually do come through every once in a while, so I think those are probably only 3 extra deck monsters I used though. Beyond that, we also have 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Dracossack, 1 Big Eye, 1 Darkness Dragon Doom Rider, and then the 1 of Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon to finish out the extra deck. Destiny Draw is our skill. It's, just allows us to get to our combo pieces later on if you need another Navigation to summon your Dark Magicians or whatnot, or a way to get to Dark Magicians so you can't activate your Navigation. Whatever you need, Destiny Draw lets you get it. Sometimes it just scares your opponents and then not attacking directly so they don't trigger the skill. So beyond that though, as I said, basic Dark Magician strategy: circle, get to your pieces, set up with Spellbook of Fate, use it to clear out the board if you need to be. Basic Dark Magician combos. Beyond that, let's get into the gameplay. Alright, so our first game is against a Rock Block Dragon deck, which is nice because I actually know what this deck does. I played with it a couple times, so a lot of times this deck gets wins because people don't know how to play against it, but not going to be a problem here. So turn 2 we draw into our Spellbook of Prophecy. That's going to let us search for our Spellbook of Secrets. So activate Spellbook of Secrets to get our Spellbook of Knowledge. Now we can activate Knowledge, draw our 2 cards. That's just sort of the basic combo with this deck, right? Now we got our Circle. It makes it much more likely we're going to be able to get to the pieces we need, and we already have everything in hand. So activate Circle, get our Navigation, set Circle or set Navigation and the Spellbook of Fate, swing over the Raiden. So he's going to summon a Tackle Crusader here and then go for the Bold play. Now I want to go ahead and activate the Spellbook of Fate to flip a monster face down. That way he can't go for the synchro play here. We have our spellbooks in the graveyard, of course, from our combo. And the reason why I wanted to activate the Spellbook of Fate first and save the Navigation here was because I knew he had Block Dragon in his graveyard. Block Dragon is something that can keep coming back from the graveyard, so I wanted to just banish it now and hopefully remove that problem so he isn't able to continually bring it back. So Spellbook of Fate, his synchro play did not let that happen. Navigation out now. Now we get a second animation, summon the other Dark Magician. Now we can banish the Block Dragon with our Dark Magic Circle. His play's over. However, though, you got to be worried about hand traps, and we also got to be worried about the fact that this Tackle Crusader has a Book of Moon effect whenever it goes to the graveyard. Send it to the grave, flip a monster on your opponent's side of the board face down. So we're going to activate the Ebon Illusion Magician effect, or XYZ, into it first. Summon it, use its effect to summon another Dark Magician from our hand. That's going to trigger the circle again, so we can banish a card on his side of the board. Declare an attack, use the Magician effect to banish his other monster. Now we have 3 things to swing through for attack, so unless he has a Kite Word, we win the game, which he does not, so easy win for us. Okay, so once again, we have our Spellbook combo. Again, very, very consistent. Given that we have 3 secrets and 3 prophecy in our deck, it's highly likely that we have one. So use one, search the other one out, then use that one to search out the knowledge, activate knowledge, and send from the field to grave to draw 2 cards. So again, you're very, very consistently going to be able to get this off. So once again, we have the same play. Again, you're going to be doing the same thing almost every game. Set Fate, set Navigation. Might get a little bit old, but you're going to be. But again, it is a very powerful move though. So our opponent has the Backrow removal to get rid of the Spellbook of Fate, but we now have the Navigation. We're able to summon the Dark Magician, and I'm not scared about his monster at all. I'm just scared about the Backrow. So we use the Magical Circle to banish one of the Backrow on his field, and I'm just going to go all in now because one, we have another Navigation for to follow up with, but at this point, our opponent just surrenders because he knows he's going to lose here. But once we remove one of those Backrow, he only has 1 spell or trap left in his set, right? 1 spell or trap that's left on the field. So we have at this point the Magician's Navigation in our graveyard. So as long as we have a Dark Magician on the board, we can negate that 1 Backrow. So as long as he doesn't have a hand trap in hand, our 3 monsters that are on the field can just swing through for game, and there's nothing, it doesn't matter what his Backrow card is. As long as it's not a counter trap, and pretty much all the important battle traps like Mirror Force and all those, they're normal traps. So Navigation can negate all of them really easily. There's nothing to do at that point. We know that whatever his Backrow is, we can stop it with Navigation, so we can easily just push through for game there. So it's just a very common thing you'll see with this deck is that if you get into that situation where you have where your opponent has 2 Backrow, you can either blow up one with Circle or banish one with Circle or bounce one back with your Spellbook of Fate. And then once you have Navigation in the graveyard, that Navigation in the graveyard can negate the other one on the field. So a lot of times if you can just get Navigation in the grave, Spellbook of Fate in the field, you can hit 2 opponents' Backrow with those 2 cards, or even a third one with Circle, and that's how you clear out your opponent's Backrow when it's giving you problems. Alright, next game up here we have an Odd Eyes deck, and this one was a little bit of trouble. So going first, we once again have our combo. We have 2 secrets in hand, which means we can search for our Spellbook of Fate now. So go ahead and use secrets to search for Prophecy. Prophecy searches for Knowledge. Activate Knowledge effect to send away our monster. We're going to use Circle here. Circle effect, not going to reach anything, unfortunately, but it's okay because we still have the cards in hand necessary to do our combo. So go ahead and set the Navigation. It's our only interruption right now. I meant to say we can't search for Fate earlier because you can only activate 1 secrets per turn. So wasn't able to draw into it. So again, we only have the 1 disruption this turn. That's going to kind of be a problem here against Odd Eyes because they can put a lot of force on, or a lot of threats on the board, which he does here. Pendulum summon 3 different monsters. We know he's going to be able to go for an XYZ summon here, which he does do. Goes for the Illusion Magician. We have to use Navigation now. We have to banish this. Can't let him get the summon off this effect. So activate the Navigation now. Summon Dark Magician to the board. Summon the Illusion Magician from the deck. Use Circle to banish the monster on his field. He's going to activate Enemy Controller, though, to steal my Dark Magician. Normal summon the Skullcrobat Joker. So now he has an XYZ play with the 2 level 4s on his field. He's going to go for that into the Malevolent Sin so we can clear out 1 thing on my side of the field, which he does so. Now he's going to activate another Enemy Controller to steal my other monster and swing directly and clean out for game. So yeah, only 1 disruption there is just not enough, especially when he has a 2 Enemy Controller. I'm going to take multiple monsters on my field there, but yeah, sometimes if you can't get to that Spellbook of Fate, though, you can't get to that second disruption, that can happen to you. Alright, another game where we didn't have to deal with Backrow too much. Backrow can definitely be a huge problem for this deck, especially if you're going second, they're able to set up. But here we don't have to worry about it too much. Our opponent is playing a train deck, which means they're able to go for the Dreadnought, the Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. I honestly don't even know if I've ever seen this animation. This might be the first time I've ever seen this animation right here. It's actually really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I've never even seen that before. That's really cool. I didn't even know I had an animation. All right, so Gustav Max turn 1, able to hit me for the 1,000 damage. Summon the Super Express Bullet Train to the board. We got two 3,000 attack and defense monsters on the field here that we have to deal with. So we're going to summon our Spellbook monster, get our Secrets to hand. Secrets grabs Knowledge, activate the Knowledge. We already have the Spellbook of Fate in our hands. So even if our opponent did have a single back row card here, we could actually bounce it back with the Spellbook of Fate. So nonetheless, so activate the Circle. Use Circle to get the Dark Magician to our hand. We have Navigation already, so set the two of them. I want to go ahead and just banish his monster now so he doesn't have the chance to burn me for 1,000 more. Yeah, that would have triggered my Destiny Draw skill, but I have everything I need at this point, right? Destiny Draw isn't really that important to getting our combos at this point. It's more important I just get the threat off the board now. So banish his monster. Magician's going to search for another Dark Magician. Incredible consistency with that. And now also, if he attacks him, a Dark Magician, our Illusion Magician can act as a battle trap card or like something to help, boost my monster, but don't even need it. He's going to go for another XYZ play here. Spellbook of Fate, activate it, flip the monster face down. We're going to use that opportunity to go ahead and summon the Magician Dark Illusion to the field. Tribute, normal summon, magical circle, banish this monster, summon Dark Magician back from our graveyard. Standard little Dark Magician plays, nothing you can do about it. Again, no backrow to protect himself. Easy win. Alright, this was Gandora. So, Gandora can see how this one could be a little bit difficult if you can't get punched through and if they have hand traps to stop you. So, we're playing the Thunder Dragon version here, which is kind of nice. I don't think, definitely know this is not as good as the Ancient Gear version of the deck. Opponent's going first, able to get their pieces to hand. So we know that he's already starting with his Gandora plays. Turn 1, Gadget, no XYZ play though, that's huge. Anytime Gandora can't make an XYZ turn 1, search their deck for something off of the Gear Gigant, it's usually a good thing for you. So we're going to have our Secrets in hand though, get our Prophecy, same play you've seen over and over again now. Again, you're always going to have this play, going to be able to filter through your deck so easily. I mean, all the time you're going to be, again, digging halfway through your deck on turn 1, able to get all the pieces you need. So we'll go ahead and set our fates, set our navigation, so we have the various pieces we need. Now he searches for a Gandora, so we know he has the Gandora play in his hand this time where he can banish anything. He's going to go for an XYZ play here now. And I want to shut this down, the Gear Gigant X here, because I want to make sure that if he does have a hand trap, or that he's not able to search for the hand trap here, I should say, make sure that, because Kite Roid can be searched off of the Gear Gigant. We don't want him to get that or the other hand trap that people are now running in this deck. So we want to go ahead and banish this off the field, make sure it's not a threat, and we're able to, of course, summon a bunch of stuff to our field. So now we have to just hope he doesn't have a hand trap here because we only have one interruption, and if he's going to be able to search for another Gandora next turn. So if he has an XYZ play and Gandora or two Gandora, we're screwed. And in fact, he does have a hand trap, so White Princess slows us down, can't punch through for game, so now he's able to activate his skill for the third time, and now we know he has two Gandora in hand, and if he has an XYZ play here, we'd really be in trouble. Thunder Dragon deck, though, doesn't XYZ summon as much, that's why this version of the deck is not as powerful. So send two away, summon Gandora, we activate our Spellbook of Fate to flip it face down, but again, he has a second Gandora, and at this point in the game, we just don't have the second interruption here, so he's able to activate Gandora's effect, banish everything from the board and from the field. He's got a 7,000 attack point monster, and we have no way to stop it. So, yeah, that sometimes just happens with this deck. I know I had to play the two navigation or the two circle there, and that made it so we couldn't play another back row. But we needed to dig for the navigation. So it's just the way it is with this deck. Sometimes that you just don't have a ton of other back row support outside of the navigation. So if your initial play doesn't get you the win, in a situation like that, you're going to be in big trouble. Anyways, that's it for the video today. If you guys liked, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of the day.